Right. Right. Onegaishimasu. Standing up, please. Pause say that. There you go. That's better. Okay. And open your legs. Inhale up and down. And head side to side. And ear to shoulders. These circles one way. Circles the other way. Your arms going forward. And arms going back. Arms in front. Arms side to side. Hey, stretching one side. And stretch the other side. Cross one side. Cross the other side. Open and close. Goes this much. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe the other side. Yoho, both sides. Benji. Yoko. Isho. Breathing in. Breathing out. Ki. Ko. I. Ko. It's up and forward. down. And knees going forward, the back. Circles away. Circles the other way. Sideways. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Open your toes. Up. Up. Hey, breathing in. Go. Kyu. Go. Kyu. Go. Hey, hips. Side to side. Hey, side. And the other side. Goes up. Change. Hands in front. Change. And again. Change. Right side. Opening legs. Elbows down. And bring your hands back. Down. And bring them forward. And pushing your hips back. Going forward. Hips up. Hips down. Hips up. Hips down. Hips up. Hips down. Open your toes outside and try to sit back as much as you can. Forward. Close your toes together and just sit back normally. Hey, one side, the other side. Side, 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 side. Okay, so this week we've been focusing, we continue on our foundational for health study of this month. This week we've been focusing particularly on the idea of Kokyu Dosa, which is, as some of you know who come and train in the dojo, sometimes we study the action of breathing in three forms. Kokyu Ho, which will be the correct method of correct way of breathing. the idea of using nostril inhalation, diaphragmatic breathing, and paying attention to the rhythms of breathing. And then we try to move into Kokyu Dosa, which is how to match that correct way of breathing in the actions of motion, or when we are moving, performing technique or receiving technique. And when we bring intention and focus and power intention and focus to this type of activity of breathing through motion, then we manifest Kokyu Ryoku, which is the power of breathing. Okay. Anyway, so Kokyu Ho, Kokyu Dosa, and Kokyu Ryoku are the three ways in which we sometimes unpack and study our breathing. Now we're at the moment. Normally, Kokyu Ho is really important to understand first in order to have a good functional use of our breathing system, especially diaphragmatic breathing and how the core muscles engage and disengage through that. Kokyu Dosa, which is the part that we've been studying this week, is really important because Kokyu Dosa, any physical activity that you perform, running, swimming, yoga, Aikido, basketball, whatever it is, has a rhythm. The body moves in a particular rhythm. And it's very important that your breathing supports that rhythm of motion. Now, every physical activity, obviously, it's different in its rhythm. Therefore, the harmony that needs to happen between motion and breathing changes from physical activity to physical activity. Although the Kokyu Ho, the correct mechanics of breathing, is the same because we're still working with a human body. The dynamics of breathing and the rhythm of breathing, which is Kokyu Dosa, is very much activity specific, right? So that's why sometimes when people goes and says, "Hey, I'm preparing for a grading, and I'm going for runs, and I'm doing yoga, or I'm swimming, or whatever it is, whatever people wants to do as additional elements of training, so I get more fit." Yes and no. Of course, every physical activity is going to be good for you to do, in order to enhance your physical capacity, in order to target muscle groups that sometimes are not targeted by your other activities and so on. So, of course, it's always going to be good to do other physical activities. However, the rhythm, for example, that you need when breathing, or whatever rhythm you have in the speed of your running is going to be very different from the rhythm that you need to have in doing this. A few weeks ago, we had a friend of ours coming to the dojo and teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it was great. It was really informative from a number of areas. It's really good, and people found themselves finding it very exhausting, very tiring. I would say that either because we were not breathing at all properly, or because we were trying to apply Aikido rhythm of breathing to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu rhythm of breathing. Yeah, and doesn't mean which one is better or not. In a sense, it's just two different rhythms of breathing. They have two different physical demands. So that's out of harmony with the type of motion. So anyway, the idea is to study Kokyu Ho, Kokyu Dosa, which is the harmony of breathing and movement, or breathing through movement. And also breathing sometimes is the movement that we perform with our body, or the motions or the impacts that come into our body. So for example, we're going to do now Karada O. We're going to start, with our massage. It's a gentle massage, but just pay attention to when you inhale, you try to tap a bit softer, and when you exhale, you can add a little bit of force, weight to your tapping. So inhale, tapping a bit slower, exhale, adding a little bit of weight. Okay, so just find your own rhythm, but be aware of the inhalation and exhalation, and harmoniously adapt the force of the tapping to those motions. Okay, go. Go. Change to the side. Bit more gentle when you breathe in, a little bit heavier when you breathe out. Cool. So now sitting down and in a shin box position. So now we're going to do a little bit of pressure starting from the base of our foot and putting weight, transferring weight and removing weight, transferring weight into our hand, into our foot and pressuring weight. So if any of you have ever received shiatsu, for example, which is the type of massage that Japanese acupressure, massage is a very Western term in a way, but acupressure that for example, Irena does, it's very good when the person receiving the shiatsu is attuned to the amount of pressure given by the practitioner. So when you receive the pressure, breathing out, you release, breathing in, receiving the pressure, breathing out, release, breathe in, and so on. So usually that releasing of air, when receiving the pressure is basic good idea, unless you have another indication by the practitioner. But usually receiving the pressure, breathe out, and so on. So try to start with a massage on the sole of your foot and try to see if you can match when you receive pressure, you bring out, and then you release, you breathe in. Or just increase your breathing out. For example, if you use one single breathe out, you go and release. Okay, so just play with it, but try to breathe out or enhance your breathing out when you are pressing. Now go up towards your calf muscle, especially on the side of the calf, but also try to press behind the calf muscle, which as we also showed during the week, because we did a few calf slicers as technique, the calf muscle is always sore. So try to press against your calf muscle. Okay. And give it a massage. Keep matching with your breathing. Now climb towards the inside of your upper leg and continue. So, and going down into your calf muscle. Some people who are more flexible than I can use their own elbow in order to create the pressure. I only can reach to about my leg and my muscle. I don't make it all the way to my foot, but it's a good idea to experience that. So just kind of the tip of your elbow into your calf muscle. And then continue to your foot. One more time. Into the sole of your foot. And the side of your foot. Oh, extending the leg, crossing and rotating your toes one direction. Rotating on the other direction. Pushing up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, rubbing, 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 rubbing. So, and tapping. And up. Mm. And putting it down and change to the other side. Again, shin box position and weight into the sole of your foot, matching with your breathing. Kokyu Dosa. Up into your calf muscle area, on your ankle to your knee. Remember, not only on the side of the calf, but right behind on the calf. Try to squeeze the calf muscle. So up to the inside of your leg. Into your groin. Down. Down again towards calf muscle. You can use your elbow, use it a little bit. Use your hands down to the sole of your foot. Extending the other leg and rotating one direction, rotating the other direction. Toes up, toes down, up, down, up, down, up, down, rubbing, taking, and stretching. And down. All right. So through pressure on the body, either by tapping or pressing the body, it's always important to try to match, our breathing, our rhythm of your breathing to absorb, to not to suck in the pressure, but to exhale when the pressure in the body is happening. Okay. So as we always say to the kids, that's something we're going to do in Ukemi in a minute. In martial arts, you can have a lock, you can have a strike, or you can have a throw. And all of those are pressure, forms of pressure on the body. The idea is that when you are receiving your lock, let's say your nikyo, you breathe out. If you are receiving a strike, for whatever reason, breathe out consciously. You're going to breathe out because someone is going to kind of wind you out, but try to breathe out consciously, which is basically an exaggeration of a massage. So you breathe out. And when you receive your ukemi, which we'll do in a minute as well, you breathe out because you are meeting the mat. Okay. So now lying down on your back. Okay. And we're going to decompress our lower back side to side. You pay attention to the rhythm of your breathing. Extend one leg, bring your other knee to your chest and breathe out. Extend the leg, bring the other one to the knee, breathe out. Extend both legs, both knees to the chest. Breathe in and breathe out. Grabbing your toes, raise your legs. And in this position, you can take a few deep breaths. Put your legs down, crossing your leg and opening your hip. Keep breathing and breathe out, especially when you reach the limit of your motion. Change to the other side and breathe out. Change to the other side one more time. Cross, open a few times. This time, go through the middle, grab and pull, breathe out. Hey, change to the side. Open a few times. And through the middle, grab, breathe in, and breathe out. Up, down. And this time opening 90 degrees. Okay, like a plan. Opening 90 degrees. One side, open the other side. One side, the other side. One side, and the other side. Side, and the other side. Very good. Stretching your legs, grabbing your head, raising your legs, and shaking from your hips. 8, 9, 10, relax. So one more time, head, legs, hips. 8, 9, 10, relax. One more time, head, legs, hips. Relax. Very good. Turn around, facing down, opening your arms. Raise your leg, raise your hip, and extend. Breathe out. The other side, breathe in, breathe out. Change, breathe in, breathe out. Change, breathe in, breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. All right, so that's Kokyu Dosa in our basic stretches and basic one more. Whenever you are at the edge of the stretch or you're moving towards the edge of the stretch, ensure that you're breathing, you're supporting that motion by breathing by the action of breathing out. Okay, so now Ushiro Ukemi, okay, as normally when kids come to the training, there are three things, the first three things that we teach that I teach them for Ukemi. Number one is that one leg is stuck, the other one is up. So they change their legs a few times. They learn that both legs are not up. They learn that both legs are not tucked. They learn that one is stuck and one is up. And they just kind of change that a few times. One up, one tuck, one up, one top, one up, one top. So they learn to do that with their legs. Then they learn that their head never touches the ground when they go backwards. Their head never touches the ground, and then they change legs. The head never touches the ground, and then they change legs. So hopefully they're okay by that. And then the third thing that they learn, which is really important, is Kokyu Dosa. They breathe in and they breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, out, 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 out. And we stand Kokyu, Yoko Ukemi, so sideways rock. Sometimes to the kids I tell them, which is related to this, but also related to when the body feels any pressure. If you have to go to the dentist or if you have to go to the doctor and the doctor has to put a vaccination on your arm, right? Basically, if any pressure is coming, for example, a needle, a vaccination on your arm, you only have three options. Option one is to not breathe, just to hold your breath, which is not great because the whole body tenses with that holding of breath. It's not a good idea. The other option is to breathe in. The needle is coming in, and you breathe in, and then you suck all that pain of the needle into your body. The third option is to breathe out. It's to willingly accept that needle coming in, and then breathe out. So you only really have three options. Not breathing at all, breathing in, or breathing out. Okay? You're going to do one of those. For sure, you're going to do one of those every time. It's 100% of the time that a needle comes to your arm. It's just which one. Okay, so consciously, ideally, try to breathe out. And relaxes your arm a little bit more, okay? So in this case, sideways roll, Kokyu Dosa, breathing in, breathing out, in, out, in, out, in, out, 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 out. Oh, all right. On your knees. This time, Senpo Ukemi with same idea. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. In, 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 out. um, so anyway, so it's very important that that concept of when to breathe in and when to breathe out happens in in all of these moments. The other day, somebody commented about how during their ukemi, they were noticing that they were usually breathing in, but then the breath, either they were not breathing out with emotion, or it was very short. Like the breathing in was very long, and then the breathing out was just something like very short, very shallow. So again, the correct matching of the length of your breathing and the rhythm of your breathing in relation to the motion that you are performing, is very important. So that's why, especially on the breathing out, the famous kiai for martial arts, kai, just it's an exhalation. It's just breathing out. Tennis players famously hit, and then sometimes they make noise. People who lift weights or that throws very heavy things like the javelin or the disc or the hammer, in the moment of release, they exhale, they do a shout, because all of those things are expressions of Kokyu Dosa, of the rhythm of their breathing, supporting the particular motion. Okay, so now this time let's do a little bit of Shiko. Okay, Shiko, and again try to bring a little bit of Kokyu Dosa awareness to it. And change. Remember, there's a couple of interesting things that happen in Shiko, okay, which normally people don't like. One is the pressure on the toes, okay. Here the pressure releases a little bit. Here the pressure increases a little bit. The pressure releases of your toes because you're a little bit up, and then pressure increases when you drop the weight. So again, in that moment is when we try to breathe out. So breathing in, breathing out, out. There it is. You create a combination of weight, pressure on your toes and on your knees, probably with a little bit of a stretch on your hips and ankles and joints. So in the moment that the weight and the stretch is maximizing, that's when we breathe out. H. Yeah. All right. So now during the week, we perform this technique. Okay, we were practicing a lot in Hanmi Handachi. So this technique where your partner is standing up, you're sitting down, kata pedori, your partner was grabbing. We were pivoting and coming down as much as possible, inviting your partner to be down as much as possible. And then we're coming up, stepping in and taking a very big stretch, to project the partner fully forward as an exercise, okay? So we were here, we came down, to the partner down, we raise up, we step in, and we fully stretch, to bring the partner into a simple game. So the partner was doing a couple of things for us. Partner was remaining in connection, or we force the connection by holding the partner down into the ground, raising the partner, stepping in with Chico, and then moving forward the entire thing. So a couple of things with that motion, which we will do now. Number one is use your breathing. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Okay, so that was number one. And number two was the reminder from Moreno Sensei that in training, every part of the body needs to be fully connected, from the tip of your toenail to all the way to the tip of your hair, outside and internally. Every organ must be participating as consciously as possible in the action of the motion. So be very generous with your projection forward, okay, in a way that you end up completely straight, not only half straight and be like that, but fully stretch, and just visualize your entire body participating on that motion. Okay, so in this case, okay, and up and pivot, down, up, stepping in and forward. Okay, so side, down, up, stepping in, forward. Side, pivot, down, up, stepping in, forward. Side, pivot, down, up, stepping in, forward. Pivot, down, up, stepping in, forward. Enter, pivot, down, up, stepping in, forward. Enter, pivot, down, up, forward. Enter, pivot, down, up, forward. So at the moment doing it solo, we're focusing more on the full stretch, breathing properly, etc. When we were with our partner, a very structural lesson came in, which was to always keep your hand in front of your body, in front of your head. As soon as this arm opens up to the side of the body or passes behind the head, then the motion is more difficult because we have lost an important connection with our spine. Okay, so in this case, pivot, keep it in front of your eyes, down, up, in front of your head, careful that doesn't pass too much behind, and then from that position, extending fully forward. Okay, there was an important structural reminder that your arm never really loses its center. Open too much becomes weak, up too much becomes weak. So in front, ideally more or less at eye level. Okay, let's do a few more, please. So pivot, down, stepping in and forward. So pivot, down, stepping in, forward. So pivot, down, up, forward. Okay, pivot, down, up, forward. Couple more. So pivot, down, up, forward. One more. Pivot, down, up, forward. All right. Let's finish with Unakogi. Just exploring three different rhythms of breathing in Unakogi Furutama. So we're going to start with our Unakogi, which will have its own command of rhythm, of breathing that you require there. Then we're going to come up here. So Unakogi, then down Furutama, and then we will keep nice and short and sharp breaths, really using your diaphragm as a very strong pump. I'm trying to pump from your diaphragm as much as possible, raising up, coming down, and then finding a rhythm. a different rhythm here, okay? Up and down with your hips, a little bit of a different rhythm until deep inhalations with controlled breathing, okay? So very short and sharp, well, punakogi, then lower your body, preparation for furutama, super sharp and short breaths with your diaphragm, then rhythmic rhythm when you're doing furutama, and then deep rhythm when you are starting to approach with the shin part, the stillness part, okay? So let's see how we go. So hands in front, big funakogi. I, o, 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 I, o. So short. Hey, the other side, please. Okay. Ish. Yi sa, 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 yi sa. Hey, so that exercise a little bit, in the first one, you're short and sharp. Your diaphragm hopefully was going quite short and sharp. Yeah. Then in the next ones, hopefully was going a little bit more, but also linked to your diaphragm. And in the last one, and so on. So hopefully you can study a few of those forms of Kokyu Dosa between the speed of your breathing and the rhythm of your diaphragm, which is an interesting and important exercise, especially when we do Funakogi. And then in every other action, either on your warm-up, on your stretches, on your ukemi, on your waza, please always remember that there is a rhythm of motion that has to be harmonized with your rhythm of breathing. Sometimes one leads the other. So sometimes if you are too fast with your motions, lower your breathing, and now make the motion fit that rhythm of breathing. Okay, so these two elements, motion and breathing, eventually support each other in action, and we call that Kokyu Dosa. Okay. Ready. Hey, arigato gozaimashita.